Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are looking at something truly special. We're analyzing the June 2026 newsletter from an organization called Singles Outreach Services. If you've ever wondered how grassroots community building actually works in practice, well, you are in for a treat. Okay, let's dive into this, because looking at a local newsletter like this, it gives us an absolute blueprint for how to cultivate real, meaningful relationships in an increasingly disconnected world.
So, Singles Outreach Services is a New York State nonprofit, and they've actually been operating since 1985, right out of Albany, New York. On the surface, what we are looking at today is a dense 30-day calendar of events for the month of June. But when you look a little closer, you realize that this calendar is actually a deeply connected lifeline for single adults in the area. It's not just a schedule, it's an entire ecosystem of social support. And that ecosystem is rooted right in their official mission statement. I mean, look at this. It brilliantly illustrates the foundation for all the activities we're about to explore. They aren't just trying to pack a schedule full of random stuff. Their goal is to actively create a safe and welcoming place for shared activities and friendship across all age groups. That safety, that welcoming nature, that's literally the beating heart of the organization.
To make sense of this chaotic 30-day calendar, I've gone ahead and structured the info into 5 core pillars. Number 1, welcome to Singles Outreach. Number 2, weekly social activities. Number 3, support and discussion groups. Number 4, June special events. And finally, number 5, joining the community.
Okay, moving to Section 1. Welcome to Singles Outreach, fostering connection in Albany, New York. Because physical spaces really do matter when you're building a community, right? Singles Outreach operates out of the Hanover Square building on New Carner Road. They maintain an actual physical office and a dedicated community room where, honestly, a lot of this magic happens. And what's amazing is how accessible they make it all. The yearly dues are just $30. That small fee actively supports their mission, keeps the lights on in that community room, and funds the administrative support they need to keep this robust schedule running day in and day out to combat loneliness. Let's jump into Section 2, weekly social activities and the rhythm of engagement. Just look at this recurring weekly rhythm. The sheer volume of interpersonal connection happening every day of the week is what makes this group so special. Mondays kick off with an evening peer support group. By Wednesday, you've got hiking in the morning and bowling in Schenectady at night. Thursdays feature midday mahjong, Fridays offer golf in the morning and pinochle at noon. And then Sundays cap off the entire week with tennis in the morning, followed by a share-a-dish dinner in the afternoon. It's just a constant, reliable drumbeat of social interaction. Now, what's really interesting about this setup is the deliberate balance they strike. On one hand, they cater heavily to physical health, organizing tennis at Colonie Central High School, weekly golf, hiking, biking, walking, and bowling at Sportsman's Lanes. But they contrast that beautifully with activities meant to keep mental agility sharp and foster deep social bonds, things like mahjong, pinochle, Saturday night games galore, and those share-a-dish dinners. And a really lovely touch you'll see repeated in their newsletter. For the card and board games, they always note, beginners welcome, we will teach you. It just removes the intimidation factor entirely. Moving right along to Section 3, support and discussion groups, creating safe spaces to talk. This community is about way more than just fun and games. Every Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m., they host a real-world discussion group, and these are the actual topics scheduled for June. Time to reboot, what's new in the news, reflections, and superpowers. I love spotlighting these specific themes because it injects such humanity and realism into our explainer. These aren't just superficial chats, They are structured spaces to explore life's deeper concepts together. And these groups are so successful because they're guided by incredibly dedicated facilitators. You have Dave F. running the Monday Peer Support Group, which focuses on discussing personal issues and concerns. Then on Tuesdays, a rotation of facilitators like Maria, Dave, Floyd, and Mark lead those real-world discussions. But here is perhaps my absolute favorite brilliant touch in this entire newsletter. After the Tuesday night meetings, at 8:30 p.m., the group officially moves over to Blessings Restaurant. They specifically schedule a post-meeting venue just to continue the conversation and further build those bonds in a relaxed setting. I mean, that is community building 101. Which brings us to Section 4, June special events, covering memories, milestones, and celebrations. Let's move to this timeline and see how this builds across the month, because there's a clear narrative arc mapped out here. They kick off early in the month on June 5th with a TV game night, promising to play their own versions of classic game shows. By mid-month, there's a day trip out to Cooperstown to visit the Fenimore Art Museum. And they close out the month on June 26th with an evening at Jumpin' Jacks. But nestled right in the middle, on June 13th is a very, very different kind of milestone. On Saturday, June 13th, the community is pausing for a celebration of life for Gerald Boileau, asking members to share your stories and favorite memories. I want to pause on this poignant micro-story for a second. The inclusion of a memorial event right here on the main calendar, that proves this isn't just a casual social club. It's a deeply connected, empathetic community that truly cares for its members in life and honors them in passing. That is profoundly touching.
Shifting back to their broader social calendar, another massive draw is their dining adventures. Every Friday and sometimes Saturday, the group meets at a different local spot. They rotate through the Blue Ribbon Diner, Metro 7 Diner, 76 Diner, and Delmonico's. And it all culminates in that spectacular-sounding June 26th event at Jumpin' Jacks in Scotia. Get this, it includes dinner, a water ski show, live bands, and fireworks. What an absolutely incredible way to celebrate the start of summer together.
And you can actually feel that summer energy pulsing through their communications. They lean right into a patriotic theme in mid-June to honor Flag Day, which perfectly sets the stage for the upcoming 4th of July picnic that they tease at the very end of their calendar. It just shows how the organization keeps its members continually looking forward to the next shared holiday.
Finally, let's look at Section 5, joining the community and how to get involved.
So the crucial point here is how incredibly easy and actionable they make these steps. You don't even have to commit right away. Step 1 is simply to attend an event as a guest. Most of them have a tiny $4 to $6 charge. Step 2, if you like it, you complete a form and pay that very reasonable $30 yearly fee. Step 3, you officially become a member, receiving a laminated ID card in the mail and getting put on the monthly newsletter list. And Step 4, you just start RSVPing. It's literally a frictionless path from curious outsider to full-fledged community member.
And speaking of that RSVP process, it's something they heavily emphasize. They require members to call or email by noon the day before an event. Plus, they send out weekly email updates every single Wednesday at noon. This level of administrative organization ensures that event leaders know exactly who's coming, everyone stays on the same page, and absolutely no one is left behind if there are last-minute changes. It's the operational glue that holds a busy community like this together. Looking at Singles Outreach Services really is a masterclass in how to combat loneliness through structure, variety, and empathy. From Monday night peer support all the way to Friday night fireworks, they've built a world where connection is always just a calendar day away. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to reflect on. Looking at this SOS blueprint, how can you foster this level of consistent, diverse connection in your own local community? Think about how you can bring that kind of warmth, structure, and open-hearted invitation to your own social circles. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.